obviously the population is growing so quickly and there's so much infrastructure and there's not that many facilities, that the ones we already have are way too crammed and people are desperate for new places to go to.
So last week we put out a call on social media where we asked people what issues they'd like to see us cover in the lead up to the general election, and one message that jumped out to us was this one about the provision of youth services in Donabate, one of Ireland's fastest growing towns where more than a third of residents are under 18. The person who wrote that post was local campaigner Anne Hogan.
I don't know if you can get the sense of the scale of the development. Our issue is that we're only looking for what's been promised to us by the council in the local area development plan. So in that, it very specifically says that housing can only be done in tandem with supporting community infrastructure. And that's clearly not happening here.
Generally, how does Donabate and Portrane stand up in terms of the availability of services for such a fast-growing population?
Very poorly. There is only, 3 GPs? My GP is not even in Donabate. Most people who kind of come into Donabate can't get space in the GPs. It's very poorly serviced.
We've got a full audience here now, by the way, just in case you're wondering.
That's some of the 31%.
My son could actually come in there as well.
This is one of the few indoor spaces that they can go to that doesn't cost money. Again, it comes back to this thing of planning.
So Eva, you grew up in Donabate. What's it like as a place to grow up?
It's an incredible place to grow up with incredible facilities if you're sporty and are into all that stuff. There's tennis pitches, tons of gallon soccer and hockey, but nothing else really if you're not, if you're more of an artsy person.
And for young people who grow up here like yourself, what do you do on weekends when you're not in school and if you're not playing football or hurling, as you say, you want yourself?
We have to travel either into the city or into Swords just to go to the cinema or just even hang out in a different environment.
And you're obviously a musician yourself.
Yeah.
Presumably you would like to have access to somewhere that you could either practice or perform concerts.
Oh, it would be amazing, yeah. Not just for me, but for all the young people here. It'd be incredible just to have a place to practice, perform, but even gather around and meet new people there.
Like every town in Ireland, there are spaces that were once open that cater to young people. Just up around the corner here is a former pub where Aaron Page used to host club nights. He's a DJ, so we're just going to ask him about that closing down and the lack of spaces for similar events to take place here now.
There is a lot of facilities here. Don't look like we're asking for too much. But yeah, there's nowhere to go for, like, we have one pub, and even for arts or drama, there's nowhere.
How necessary is a space like the one we're talking about for a town of this size, do you think?
Probably necessary 10 years ago when I was growing up, but now with the population the way it is, I just think it's huge for younger people to have something, a hobby to go for if they aren't interested in sport.
Do you see issues in Donabate generally amongst young people because of this lack of access to services? Are they, engaging in antisocial behaviour, this type of thing?
I think there's a lot of rowdiness, but I don't think the people of Donabate are bad or it's bad kids. I think they're bored and they have nothing to do.